Okay guys, so this is 6-pair cable, more commonly known as 6-pair drop wire, but it's not always used in drop applications. Quite frequently is used in repairs of temporary applications. So poly outside, aluminum sheath on the inside. Conductors are wrapped in a plastic wrap with Kevlar string wrapped around that, and then inside the plastic wrap is the grease that protects the copper conductors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expose the copper conductors, and what we do is we score with our snips the outside sheath, and then you simply just snap it and then pull it off. Okay? So once we do that, we see our familiar string friend. You wrap the string as we've done before. And sometimes you have to wrap it again around your paper towel. And then you give it a little tug just about that far. Okay? And then usually I'll back it off a little bit so that my string stays there. And then what you do is you take your conductors and you pull them out. So you pull them out to that distance. Then you open it up with your needle nose pliers. So you continue with this until you get it open enough. Just like this. Now once we've got it opened up, you can see the metal inside, and then we'll talk more about our copper conductors and their coverings once we finish doing the bonding. Now normally we would have a hole punch that we would use to make this hole in the sheath, but seeing that I don't have one of those, I had to improvise. So once you've got that in place, then you have to place your bond. Now, with me being out of practice, of course I haven't made it long enough. So now I'll just have to pull this out real quick. And then, good example of why I don't cut my string. Because if I would have cut the string off, then I'd be hooped. So just give that a little more tug, not too far though. Again, pull my conductors out. Okay. Let's open this up a little bit more. Like that. Place our bond clamp back into the hole as such. Okay. Then what you do is you place your conductors back over top of that bond clamp. Okay. So now we know that we're done. Now we cut off our little piece of string. Okay. And then take our tape, 3/4 inch electrical tape. So usually I'll start a little bit down from where I was before. You want to try and keep it as tight as possible as you wrap. Okay. So you'll wrap it right over top, just like that, and then I might do maybe another half wrap back down to the bottom. Pull it off. So now it's completely wrapped, it's secured in place, and you got your bond clamp in place. Okay, so then what you do from there is you put the outer one on top, and then then, of course, you'd have a can wrench, but I don't have one, so I have to, again, improvise. Okay, so you get that nice and tight, so you can see where the teeth have started to. So this is now ready for bonding. So whatever the application happens to be, right? In most cases, you'd have a bond strap, which of course I don't have one, and it'd have a little eye that you would slip over top of that, and then you would put your next nut on, and that would secure your bond strap in place, and then you've got continuity, right? So whatever's traveling down the sheath can make it to ground. So this is in a drop application, and 9 times out of 10 this would be coming into, in most cases, your NID. So this particular part, the bonding part, is finished. So now that we're looking at our copper conductors, here's your Kevlar string that I mentioned. Okay, so we just unwrap those, and then we cut that off. And then, generally speaking, what you do is you just get it, because you got to be careful you don't snip your conductors, and then you can rip this off. Now, if I open this up, you guys can see the grease that's on the inside, or you can see it when I pull these conductors apart. Because unlike your drop wire, your white is white across all pairs. So if you lose transposition, which is a fancy word for making sure that your pairs stay together, then you're going to be in trouble. Okay? So in this particular case, these pairs would be ready for splicing. So one way that you can kind of ensure that you don't lose transposition is you can give it a little bit of a twist like that, and then it's guaranteed it's not going to go anywhere. But generally speaking, unless you physically pull these apart, they're not going to come apart. Okay, so that end is ready for splicing in whatever application you happen to be using it in. So like I said, in this case, this would be what you would see in a PED or in a NID, either end. And these pairs then would get spliced into the incoming distribution pairs.